We're ready. Default, it was not served. It's unreleased and certified mail.
Good afternoon. This is call number 2019-80833 in the interest of Chloe Shanley. Please raise your right hand, ma'am, to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Tressa Shanley, and I am her mother.
You're her mother, okay. And for the state?
Sharday Parker for the state, Your Honor.
Court will note that John Terry Shanley Jr. is the non-custodial parent. There was service here. Was not executed, okay. Records show that Mr. Shanley was in court on June 30th, 2020 and signed a reset order setting this matter for today. Also, there was notice of the Zoom hearing, today's Zoom hearing by certified mail, which is delivered August 17th, 2020. He is not checked in. Is that correct, Ms. Parker?
Yes, it's correct, Your Honor.
All right, we'll proceed by default.
Miss, are you the mother of Chloe Beth Shanley?
Yes, ma'am.
What is her date of birth?
July 6th, 2004.
And who is her father?
John Terry Shanley, Jr.
Are you currently married?
Yes, ma'am.
Who are you currently married to?
John Terry Shanley, Jr.
And were you married when Chloe was conceived?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is Chloe?
She is 16 years old.
And when was the last time Chloe saw Mr. Shanley?
It was in October of 2019.
And how long have you and Mr. Shanley been separated?
For 2 years.
For 2 years. So in the past 2 years, has he provided financially for Chloe during that time?
No, ma'am.
Does he ever contact you regarding her general welfare?
No.
Does he ever
No.
contact you about day-to-day decisions, the doctors, the dental appointments?
No.
Are you requesting that you be made sole managing conservator?
Yes, ma'am.
And in your experience, does Mr. Shanley give priority to Chloe's welfare when making parenting decisions, if he made any parenting decisions?
I'm sorry, you cut out just a little bit on that.
Oh,
I didn't understand.
No, I said, in your experience, has Mr. Shanley made Chloe's welfare his first priority in making any parenting decisions?
No, ma'am.
Do you believe it's in the best interest of your child for you to be appointed the sole managing conservator?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to designate you as the conservator to have the right to designate her residence in Harris and contiguous counties, correct? Ms. Shanley? Ms. Shanley, are you froze? Ms. Shanley?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you said yes.
Uh-oh. What's going on with the Wi-Fi?
Okay, I can hear you now. Are you requesting that Mr. Shanley have no visits with Chloe, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're requesting that he have no visits with Chloe based on Chloe's own request, correct?
Yes, ma'am. She's not too fond of me.
And has Chloe ever witnessed Mr. Shanley be violent with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Has he ever been physically, emotionally, or psychologically violent with Chloe?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there private health or dental insurance available at a reasonable cost to you for Chloe?
She is receiving Medicaid right now.
Okay. And are you asking the court to order cash medical support in the amount of $118 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court for retroactive child support in the amount of $7,482.66 to be paid back at $87 per month
Yes, ma'am.
starting October 1st?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any safety concerns with your address being listed in this order?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
What are those safety concerns?
I currently had to file charges on him for domestic violence because he hit me with my phone in my head and I had to go to the hospital and have stitches put in my forehead.
And when did that happen?
That was in June of last year.
June of last year.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you feel like if he was to know your address, he would come to the home and make threats or harass you or Chloe or anyone else who lives in your home? Ms. Shanley,
Yes, and he's done it before, so I guess.
are you asking the court to grant you a non-disclosure to where your information will not be listed in the order? Ms. Shanley?
She's frozen again.
Yeah. Okay, I can hear you. You're back, Ms. Shanley. Are you asking the court for a non-disclosure?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer.
Ms. Shanley, are you asking the court to grant you a non-disclosure? I think she's froze again.
Ms. Shanley, can you hear me?
Ms. Shanley, you're still frozen.
Frozen.
Sorry, Your Honor. When I think of Frozen, I think of the movie. So.
Oh,
I guess she has to call back in. Oh, here she is. Ms. Shanley, can you unmute
there she is.
There you go.
You need to unmute. Do I do that or does she do that?
She does that herself. She
Okay.
can unmute herself. Ms. Shanley. Ms. Shanley, you may want to call back in on your phone, just on your phone. if this video is not going to work, just call in without using the video, because we can proceed that way as well, or just
There
cut.
she is.
Okay, there you go. Okay, are you asking the court to grant you a non-disclosure to where your information will not be placed in this order?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you also requesting child support in the amount of $428 per month?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And are you asking that the court order Mr. Shanley to pay all court costs, if any?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to grant this default judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe that it's in the best interest of your child for her not to have, at the age of 16, not to have visits with Mr. Shanley if she's uncomfortable with having to have visits?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, my phone's freezing up again.
Okay. Your Honor, I have no further questions. I pass the witness.
Has he been violent towards his daughter, Miss Shanley?
Yes, sir.
In what way?
There was a time, one time, I can't remember exactly what the whole thing was over, but she was standing in the door and she was crying or something like that. And he smacked her really hard, like, I mean, harder than you should ever hit a child in the face. And it hurt her feelings. It hurt her really bad.
Okay, Miss Parker,
Son's
the
also
order,
in.
okay, Miss Park, the order indicates that there would be visitation at the Harris County Domestic Relations Office. Is that
Well,
correct?
no, the orders, it says in there that we don't think it's in the best interest for him to have any, but I had to put that in the system that we use. I had to put somewhere. It wouldn't let me put it where it was nowhere. So it said the Harris County Domestic Relations Office. It wouldn't let me put it where it said, because she's requesting they have no visitation, but it wouldn't let me just put, I mean, I guess I could have typed nowhere in there. I didn't think
Well, it's in there.
yeah.
Well, okay, the periods of possession, but they're talking about no periods of possession, right?
Yes.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Finley, you are free to go.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Bye-bye.